beautiful ladies in my Facebook group. I had two really good conversations today with some women that are in this group, and this Facebook group is filled with incredible women. When I get off the phone and I connect with you one-on-one, I'm like, oh God, I really, really want this woman to have this baby because I see the potential to be an incredible mother that's within her. It's just amazing. So anyway, hi everyone. My name is Dr. Majita. Some people call me Dr. Vita. And I help women who are having fertility issues, PCOS, fibroids, endometriosis, you name it. I help women who are having reproductive issues get to a state where they're fertile. And so today we're going to talk about 6 foods that you should eat, especially if you're having issues with your hormones. I am coming to you live from my son's room. For my son is Jordan. His name is Jordan. See, it's right here. And I like doing lives in his room. I like doing stuff in his room because I'm looking around at the toys everywhere and the disaster that he makes, and it centers me and reminds me of why I do what I'm doing. It reminds me of when I wanted him and I shed tears because of the idea of never having my son. If he never came to me, I would be devastated to this day. And so when I held him in my arms for the first time, I said that I'm going to help other women who are struggling to conceive. I'm going to have other women who are having issues conceive. And today, I want to talk about one of the things that I had to do to be able to get my son, to be able to regulate my hormones, to be able to be in this healthy state so that I can be fertile. And today I have to tell my husband to get away from me because I am fertile. I'm never going back to that moment, that time of struggling to conceive. Food is important. So if anyone's having hormonal issues, hormonal imbalances, it's chemistry. Think about our bodies. This is all a chemical reaction, right? You need energy. You need to eat something. You need to drink something. My background is biochemistry, so that's what I know really, really well. So if you're having fertility issues, look at your hormones. If you're always tired, look at your hormones. If you have irregular periods, look at your hormones. If your cycles are super heavy, look at your hormones. For me, I used to have bad PMS. When that time of the month came, it was a nightmare. I hated it. Hormones. Now I go through my period and it's actually my favorite time of the month. I have a particular protocol that I follow and I feel amazing during my period. So the first thing is really changing the foods that we're eating. They're foods that promote hormone health and they're foods that disrupt it. Why would food have anything to do with our hormones? Well, like I just said, it's chemistry. It's a chemical reaction. You know, if you are hungry, a hormone regulates hunger. So if you're hungry, there's a hormone that's produced in your body. And then you eat, that hormone gets turned off. Everything is chemistry inside of your body. Those hormones are controlled by food. Those hormones are controlled by other compounds that come into contact with our skin. Anything that touches any of our organs, comes into our bodies, will regulate our hormones. So that means, number one, we can have those things controlling our hormones for the worse. And then number two, we can also heal our hormonal balances with food. For me, the secret to everything that I do in helping women with hormonal issues and getting pregnant, number one, food. That's the first thing that I do, is I get in there with food. Mindset is important. We work on emotional stuff. We work on mental stuff. I give herbs. I give supplements. I give this, that, and that. Home base number one is food. I need to put them on a specific diet for a certain period of time, and how they react will let me know what's going on in their body. Number one is food. Food, okay? So I'm going to tell you, I have a list. So I have like a protocol that I use. Every single woman that I work with that's having any kind of hormonal issues, that has been struggling to conceive for over a year, I'll go in with this. I have a menu plan, a meal plan, depending on, they can choose, depending on whether or not they like meat, etc. But I'm going to tell you some of the superfoods that I will give to them. Okay. Now, it's important to know that everyone is different. So even my sister and I, we have the same mother and father, but what she needs to eat and what I need to eat are different. Okay, she has a different body type. We have the same parents, but what she needs to eat for health and what I need to eat for health is different. What she needs to eat for her fertility and what I need to eat for my fertility are different. Everybody is different. So can I tell you to go have bee pollen and that'll completely regulate your cycle? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Maybe I can tell your sister to go take it and, oh, she has, her PMS is gone, her cycles are normal, etc. But for you, it might be different. So every person is different. I just have home base, okay? So these are some of the things that I will say, hey, these are my top things right here. And then I'll see how those top things are going. I have everyone keep a food journal. Then we see how those foods are going. How their body reacts in a couple weeks will really tell me, okay, this person's having a thyroid issue, or okay, the reason why this person is having decreased ovarian reserve is because XYZ. This person is having this issue. Home base is food. Okay. So I'm going to go, I have my laptop here. I'm going to go into, I have a list of hundreds of these, but I'm going to just pick a few from the list and I'm going to tell you a few of the benefits. So not only is food important for weight management, etc., but we're balancing hormones. If you're struggling to get pregnant, it's a hormonal thing. Our hormones control everything. You may not have ever heard this before, but I'm here to tell you, hormones regulate everything. When you're peeing on a stick for ovulation, you're checking hormones. When you're peeing on a stick to see if you're pregnant, you're checking hormones. When you go in for your first appointment at the doctor, they're checking hormones. Whenever you go for a physical, even aside from pregnancy, when you go in for a physical and they do a blood panel, they check hormones. So really, pregnancy is just the hormonal reaction. If your hormones are balanced, you keep your baby, you have a beautiful pregnancy, everything goes well. Your hormones are out of whack, gestational diabetes, miscarriages, stillborns, this, that. Okay? So the hormones are very, very important in this dance. I don't know why, for some odd reason, I cannot see comments. It looks like I'm on as an attendee. That's strange. It's okay. If you guys are commenting, keep commenting. I will respond to you afterwards, okay? So everything, I want you to start thinking of your fertility as a hormonal thing. Even if you haven't started trying, think about your hormonal state. Let me give you an example. Although for my first son, I had to put work in to have him, right now, I am as fertile as can be. Okay, and I know that. But yesterday, I went to IHOP with my husband. I used to go to IHOP a lot. As a teenager in my 20s, we would go to IHOP. That was just our thing. I would go there. I would have pancakes. I would have this, eggs, you name it. Yesterday, I went and I said, okay, I want pancakes, but let me just have the gluten-free ones so that I won't be sick after. I had 2 gluten-free pancakes, eggs from IHOP, and some sausage links. And I felt like sick after. Okay. So what I could eat in my 20s and get away with now in my 30s, I cannot do that. And so I teach people to keep a food diary. Today, this is going to be a long live, okay? So take out your notepad, get comfortable. If you need to come back later, I'll see if I can leave this up. This is going to be a long and thorough Facebook Live, okay? So just get comfortable. I'm going to go into detail because this is very important. This is the heart of what I do. The beginning. The mindset is the heart. This is the beginning. This is what tells me what I need to do. So I felt sick after I had those 2 gluten-free pancakes, eggs, and 2 sausage links. So that tells me that when I'm ready to have my next child, I cannot eat that. The 3 to 6 months before I want to conceive that child, I cannot eat gluten-free pancakes, 2 over hard eggs, and 2 sausage links from IHOP because they mess me up. I felt tired, you know, the itis. I felt tired. I just couldn't concentrate. So now I know. Okay. So this is what this is about, right? Someone else could eat that and be completely fine. But I know for me, when I'm ready to try to conceive, I need my hormones balanced 100%. So I can't have that. So for hormonal health, I have a balance of fats, fiber, and protein. It's a balance. It cannot be overdone. If I'm on keto and I'm overdoing the fats, that's not helping. Okay. So this is just the standard of what I know for everybody. Everyone needs a balance of protein, fats, and fiber. Okay. If you're a constipated mess like I used to be a constipated mess. And now I still revert back to that constipation. Okay. But that tells me where my hormone levels are at. So everyone needs that kind of balance. And so if you're having acne issues, bloating, if you can't control your weight should be able to be controlled. If you can't control your weight, you're spotting before your periods, these are all signs that, okay, I need to pay attention. Okay. All right. So let's go. I'm just going to pick 6 foods at random out of my list of literally hundreds of foods. Spirulina. Spirulina, I don't know if you guys ever have it. It's a blue-green algae. So it grows in freshwater ponds and lakes. And it's rich in a bunch of different vitamins and copper, good source of potassium, magnesium, zinc. It's off the chain. And it's very important for immune balance and hormonal response. And I don't overdo it because it could have like a little bit of copper, but spirulina has done wonders. And so I'll sometimes have people make a spirulina smoothie. I have a free guide that I can give you on fertility smoothie recipes. So make sure that you inbox me, Vita Khaki, or you can inbox Vita Body Company, whichever one. You can inbox or drop a comment below. I can send you my fertility smoothie recipes completely free. It's just a PDF. And so you can just put some spirulina powder in there. Great blue-green algae, wonderful for your immune system right now. And then also it's great for regulating your hormones. Number 2 is bee pollen. This has worked wonders for some people. For me, I don't take bee pollen. For some people, it's worked wonders. Some people that I've worked with. And it's so powerful that within like an hour of taking it, they've actually been able to see changes, a significant hormonal response just from taking the bee pollen at that particular time. And bee pollen is what's called an aromatase inhibitor. Fancy word. I worked in breast cancer for 5 to 6 years. So I know all this terminology and lingo. If you care to know all the fancy terminology and lingo, you can always, ask me, write me and ask me, okay? And so what this does is it converts testosterone to estrogen. So there's some women who have a lot of testosterone, right? And so this aromatase inhibitor actually converts that testosterone into estrogen. So there's some women